Okay, welcome to the talk about CephFS rstats. Rstats meaning recursive tree statistics. The main requirement for implementing rstats comes for implementing the file system check. In the file system check, the rstats are checked for consistency during recursive forward scrubbing. The following are the ways how scrubbing is started. It can be a regular directory or an internal MDS directory. Without the recursive flag, only one level of the directory is verified for the stats. Our stats are used for forward scrubbing, as we know, but there is a proposed feature to use snapshot rstats for detecting changes between file system trees, essentially between two snapshots. The rstats helps in optimally identifying the differences between two trees instead of doing a complete crawl of the entire subtrees. Now this is possible with the help of ceph.dir.rctime virtual exatter maintained at every directory. Now if there are 1,000 directories and 10 levels deep, each directory node will have this exatter maintained. Now the RC time is maintained as part of the nest info structure, which is maintained in the frag info structure at every directory node. Now these are the two primary structures that are used for the rstats maintenance, the frag info and the nest info. The frag info maintains information for one directory fragment represented by a cdir object. Now that is the information about immediate entries in the directory. Now subsequent entries, statistics for entries deep, more than one level deep, are accumulated in the structure called nest info. Now both of these structs are embedded in a container struct called fnode_t, which is maintained per dirfrag or per cdir object. Dirfrags are created when directories are pinned to a specific MDS or when the balancer delegates subtrees to other active MDS for load balancing. So when the subtrees are delegated to the respective MDSs, those MDSs become the auth MDSs for those subtrees or authoritative MDSs for those subdirectories. Now the rstats are propagated from the leaves, either directories or files, to the root of the file system. The M time or C time of any of the files or directories are collected together. Whichever is higher or greater is maintained as the RC time and propagated to the root. rstats propagation to the root is lazy and is not instantaneous. It doesn't happen in a blink of an eye, since all the cdir objects in the path up to the root have to be updated, or the nest info and frag info structures have to be updated along the path. This involves a lot of locking, and this is a hard problem to solve. With multiple active MDSs directories pinned to different MDSs, with MDS failures and restarts and updates to snapshot directories. This is a really hard problem. RC time updates to snapshot directories is currently buggy and is being looked into. that's mostly it. That's a pretty small talk. Any questions? So since rstats have to be propagated to the root, they also involve locking. So either the nest structure has to be locked, or the file specific locks have to be taken across the system to propagate the locks to the root, and that is really cumbersome. Also, the the stats are collected when the system restarts or the MDS comes up and replays the log, and then again the rstats are reconciled and checked for validity, version validity, before they are propagated to the root. That's it, folks. I'll stop sharing unless you have any more questions.